Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Two Geeks Talking is an entertainment industry interview show where we interview the creative people from the comic, film, TV, movie, and video game industries. And of course, I'm your host, Kurt Sasso. We're joined today by another actor, a talented one at that, coming off of a successful web series, first episode, premiere episode. You've heard about it in past interviews from other creative people that are a part of the show, like Joel Boyce, Ian McLaughlin, as well as Sean Mazoka earlier, or rather last interview. We're joined today by actor Brent Bondy. How are you doing today, Brent?
Doing very well, thanks, man. How are you?
Ah, not too bad. Thanks for asking, other than the injuries and all that jazz. So, uh, when I've been following Cooked for a while, to be perfectly honest, and be it Facebook posts, be it other people that I've interacted with in the past, everyone is very passionate about this particular project. How did you get involved, and what exactly do you do in the series?
Well, I kind of, going back now, I'm trying to remember exactly how it all happened, but there was, I believe, an email sent to me through Facebook about a Kijiji ad for Cooked. So, like, okay, this sounds interesting. I read it. It was for the audition process, and I just kind of went with it. I made my time slot available for my audition date, and I auditioned and got the role. And the role that I got was for the role of Patrick. He's one of the main characters in Cooked, and it's a very, very fun role to play because it's almost completely opposite to who I am as a person.
Oh,
So, sorry,
yeah,
it's just my dogs and everything walking around here. So if I look away, I'm not paying attention to you.
that's okay. And if I look to the side or to the other side, it's either someone coming in or traffic. So it's all
Yeah,
good.
no problem.
Um, well, Cooked has been going on for it feels like a year, but I know it hasn't been that long.
No, it does feel like a long time though. I believe it's been around 4 or 5 months. I can't. Don't quote me on it. It's right around there though.
And about this particular thing, from seeing the Facebook post, from talking with Ian and Joel and everyone else that I've happened to speak to through the Facebooks and social medias, it's been not only a huge cast, but it's been a massive crew as well for a pilot episode of a web series.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very ambitious project, and I'm sure you've heard that before, speaking with Ian, Joel, and Sean now. And yeah, it's very ambitious. We have a ton of really, really great people on this show so far, cast and crew. I think honestly, we are just extremely blessed and lucky to have these people because just I didn't know a lot of them at first, but knowing now them and their backgrounds and things they've done, and it's just incredible that so many people are willing to volunteer their time for such a project like this, and they're really going for it the first time, right? I mean, a lot of people will start a little bit smaller, but no, not. I don't think he had an idea of small in his mind when this came about, and it's just been, just incredible. So yeah, the crew members, Derek, the cameraman, Steve, the sound guy, and then Marvin, who was originally our first cameraman, who's a little bit busy on his projects now.
Yeah.
So. Just everyone from people traveling from Wallsburg and other places around just to come out on set and just do what they're passionate about and put all their heart into this project. It's just been incredible. So I can't wait for a little bit more to come out for the audience to see.
Definitely. For being a main actor, usually that's a pretty heavy role when it comes to, a lot of pressure can be put onto a main actor like yourself. How did you handle that, especially with the 4 or 5 months of shooting?
Actually, the majority of the pressure right now, to be honest, Kurt, has just come from outside of Cooked. I have other jobs as well going on, and I think actually Cooked is my stress reliever. If I can say that, I go to set and it's just a great time, and it's not like I'm working there at all. I mean, and other guys in the show, I hope crew as well will admit that fact that when we get there, it's just a huge, huge family of people now that I just met. I mean, I knew some people from before, but I mean, not everybody, and And now when we all get together and we're all just best friends, we all have a great time, and there's really not that much stress on set at all. And it's not that much pressure because they make it so easygoing, especially, Ian and Joel and the people behind the scenes. They let you kind of run with your character, and they're not too, not too dead set on the way they wanted a certain character, right? I mean, they were kind of really open. They had their ideas, and they were open to let us run with it. So that in itself is no pressure right there. You just go with it, and if they like it, they love it, and if they don't, then obviously they're going to say something, right? But I think as of now, everyone's been doing exactly what they want. I'm pretty sure they're very happy with it all right now.
Nice, nice. Talk a little bit about yourself, because were you primarily an actor? Did you go to school for that, or were you just something that you kind of fell in your lap?
Right, yeah, so I was nowhere near an actor growing up. I was actually quite opposite to an actor. I was the kid in the family that would, sit at the dinner table, and I'd have my nono across the table screaming, saying, "Oh, hey, when's Brent gonna say something? I want to hear from my grandson." And I never said a word. It was just like, "Oh, wait, shut up, everybody. Brent's gonna talk. Brent's gonna talk," and then I wouldn't talk because I was just too shy. I was just, it was just a running joke in the family that, if I was going to say something, everyone had to be quiet because it was going to be heard. Nobody ever hears my voice. So, yeah, so I was just, I guess becoming an actor, it was fairly recent, actually. I haven't been doing it very long. But it kind of happened because it's something that I always wanted to do. I've always really enjoyed, like growing up, seeing people on TV that do such a great job at what they do, and they're able to portray these different, characters. I said, that'd be a lot of fun, like that'd be great. Like, when can I ever be a policeman, a firefighter, a doctor, or whatever, like a superhero? Doesn't matter what. Just when can I ever just be that? I can't be that in real life, so what can I do to do that? And acting has just always been on my mind about that, but I never had the balls really to just stand up and go, just get to an audition. My nerves were horrible. My anxiety was horrible. Just thinking about starting and going to an audition, I would pretty much be like dry heaving, like that bad, where I was just like almost on the verge of throwing up just thinking about doing it. Wow. And that's how bad my anxiety took over. But so it was just recently now, within the last, I believe, 3 years, I'm going to say, I've been doing it. With my now fiance Jessie, she knew that I wanted to do this, and I expressed that to her. And there came an audition that just came across, I think, Facebook or something like that. And it was a general audition. I think there was going to be 5 casting directors or directors at a panel, and they were just going to be watching you or whatever. And it was just a monologue audition. And I was telling her, what, I really want to do this, and I kind of knew Gavin Michael Booth was going to be there. And I'm just like, I should just do this, and she really pushed me. She's like, you know what, you're doing it. That's it. I don't care about anything. And she herself, she had suffered from anxiety as well, but being the partner that she is and how strong she is beside me, she actually even did the audition with me to push me that much farther and to get me out there. And it ended up, being one of the best things I could have ever done, because it got me my first commercial, which was with David Ross, Clearly Contacts. It was a commercial. It was just a competition commercial, but they did a phenomenal job, and it ended up winning the first prize for them. So that was really cool. And also I got a few music videos with Gavin Michael Booth, which really kind of opened me up to what it was like to be in front of the camera and what it was like to sit around and wait, because those really aren't the main priority in a music video. When you're there, you're just kind of there. Mm-hmm. And so it really opened my eyes to a lot of how acting is that I wasn't at all aware of. And then it kind of just rolled on from there. I kind of was my own agent for about a year and a half or 2 years. I kind of just used websites like Mandy.com, things like that. I applied for different auditions in Guelph, in Toronto, and it just blew my mind how quickly things happened, because I started getting replies just from not having any experience, just a headshot online or whatever, like letting them know I don't have any experience, but I'm interested in auditioning. Mm-hmm. And there's been some wonderful directors that I met, Jeff Fowler, Evil Genius,
Yep.
He is phenomenal. I did one of my first short films with him, and I was able to be a SWAT guy and as well an army guy, and I had all this get up, and we were shooting with these real guns, not real guns, but like they were real to me.
Props,
they were that. They were props, but they were so cool, and it was just awesome, you know. So it just kind of rolled from there, and then I started thinking about, okay, so maybe I should take this a step further and get an agent. And now that's where I'm at still with Sarah Ilyanich from Fusion Talent, and she's been amazing. You know, she's just been phenomenal to have, and she's got so many ties from here to Toronto, and she's just expanding now even into LA. She's getting all these different things going on, and it's been pretty incredible. So she got me, you know, the audition for the Beauty and the Beast role of Richson that I had. Must have been about a year ago now, or a little bit more. But that was a great time working with Kristin Kreuk and Nina. I can't remember her last name. Nina or something like that. Anyways.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you were on.
I apologize. But that was wonderful. Like just being out there in Toronto, and then you know, just hanging out even on set with them was just super cool, because I know Kristin was like the star of Smallville, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well, one of the stars, but yes, she was a
female. I think she was a female lead.
Female lead, and it's a pity that they didn't use her to her full potential. It was a shame.
Yeah. But so yeah, they were really cool people, and just, you know, seeing how elaborate the sets are there, just incredible. You don't know where our camera is when you're on set for a TV show like that. You just like you really don't. They're hidden in corners. They're just all over the place, and you don't know where to look. And it was kind of overwhelming, to be honest, but it really opened my eyes to what I was getting myself into, and it was just a rush, and I loved it. And there were so many people. Like I actually had a stand-in. I'm like, the stand-in who somebody's like filming my while they put the lighting and the camera on me. I'm like, this is pretty sweet, man. And it was just a role, but you know what? It felt really cool, and they gave me my own trailer and everything. So I'm like, this is pretty sweet.
Jeez.
But yeah, so it really opens your eyes to how the industry works and everything behind the scenes too. And yeah, and I just been rolling from there, and it's been awesome. So currently it's cooked right now for me. It's been a huge role, and we're almost wrapped. We have one more night next Saturday, and I think that is it. And then I'm working on another feature called Random right now with Indira Killen. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Oh, geez, I think I'm gonna say over a year now on that one. That's been another ambitious project where she's had some people from Hollywood come into town. Orestes Matagina, or however you're gonna pronounce his name. He was actually in The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Oh, okay.
He was Nico, I think his name was.
Yeah, I remember that character. Yeah.
So it's been cool. He plays my father in Random, and you know, just being on set with people like that have been in the industry for so long. They have so many things like tips and pointers for you, and it's just been phenomenal learning experience, and I appreciate it. And I want to thank Indira, you know, from the bottom of my heart, to pour out all her soul into everything that's been going on with this, and it's been an extensively long, like, just ridiculous project for her, I'm sure. So all the best.
Is that local, or is that in Toronto?
It's all local. Yep. It's all been filmed local.
Oh, so, wow. Okay, awesome.
Yep.
So we're getting a lot of feature films that are coming down this way. That's really great to see.
Yeah, it's very independent, but I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. I think anything that we have going on in Windsor right now, the more, obviously, the better.
Yeah.
People need to start seeing that Windsor has the resources and the people. You don't need to go and spend a super, like, crazy amount of money in Toronto or LA or in Vancouver. You don't have to spend all that kind of money, because we have everything right at our front doorstep, and people that are willing to let us use their places, and they're more than willing. It's just crazy how much people open their doors to this industry.
Yeah.
And it's quite great, actually. I love Windsor for that.
Definitely. It's you know, you can always see that a community, you know, I said this in the last interview, I'll say it again, you know, Windsor's a blue-collar town, but they know how to work and help people out. And no matter what, I mean, we have a great arts community in Windsor. you don't have to look very hard because it's there, and
Got it. Yep.
you can do so much with this particular city. You have access to Detroit, access to wine country in the county, you have access to farms, you have access to woodland. I mean, it's any setting you need, you get it here, and it's probably a heck of a lot cheaper.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. If not free sometimes.
Yeah, if you plan it out right.
Yeah. A lot of people willing to give you some freebies here and there, just have their establishment in your film or your series. It's been actually very wonderful. So.
Definitely, for sure. Let's talk about yourself for a little bit here. Where do you draw your inspiration from?
Oh man. I've had a lot of inspiring people in my life, and I kind of take a little bit from everybody. I think my father. I miss him. He passed away in 2008, but he played guitar and sang, very well, and he just always, I was just always inspired, and every time I saw him, that's the only thing that I would think about is like, when are you gonna pull out your guitar? If we could sit by a bonfire or whatever and just play some tunes, right? So it was just like, for the musical aspect, there's been my father. He really inspired me to play music. I play drums as well, and I kind of dabble with guitar, piano, whatever. I'm kind of a musician like that. I just like playing music. Doesn't matter where it comes from or how good or bad I play it. I just try. So, but definitely the musical aspect was from him. My mom just been super incredibly strong with everything throughout many different situations in her life, and everything that has happened from start to finish. Well, not to finish. She's still around, but at this point in time, it's just been very inspiring because the way she has handled everything. I was able to grow up watching her go through situations and just basically persevere and get through everything, and it really gave me kind of a level head. And I'm just like, I never really take anything for granted. And whatever hard situations that I go through now, I know at the end there's always going to be something better and something great that's going to come out of it. And I've watched that with her life, and now I kind of just take that upon myself into my life. And so my parents have been huge inspirations for me. My sister, obviously, her and I never really got along when we were growing up. She was one. My little brother, he's just annoying kind of thing, and she would chase me around with baseball bats. But that's besides the point. That kind of made me a stronger person too. She was
avoiding baseball bats.
Yeah, big tall girl. I learned how to run fast and everything else. But but now no, she's a teacher. She's very smart. She's now a mother of two, and just watching the way she changed in life from being the kind of person that didn't care really about anything. She's got like a really like a strong mentality, but very how do I want to say it? She didn't really need anybody. She had that persona where she didn't really need anybody. She had herself, and she could take care of everything on her own. But now when she has these kids, I think they really brought her down to another level now. She figured out in life that something is there, there's something that she does need, and she needs that family, and now she's, it's just been amazing to see that change in her. But my nono, opera singer, again with the music, phenomenal voice. So just hearing that, it just again inspired me to try and do something more with my life. Like, I know I can play music, I know I can do things. If I really want to do something, I'll put my everything into it, and I'll get it done, and I'll do the best I can, kind of thing. And I think that's been pretty much the mentality of my whole family, and I think I take all my inspiration from there.
Good stuff. Yeah. Let's see. I can cancel out that question because that works out well. You kind of picked apart two questions I had, which worked out very well. So thanks. Being on set, being on set, you usually have the ability to either sets are very strict with their scripts, or you have a little flexibility, as I've heard Cooked is. It's very flexible in terms of dialogue, in terms of everything like that. Were there any creative dialogue or any creative mistakes maybe that occurred during filming that kind of made it into the film, or that you wish would make it into the film?
See, with my character, with Patrick particularly, I don't stray too much from the script. I really admire Joel's writing, and not to say that other characters don't, but he's one person writing for a huge cast of people, right? And all these different characters. And if somebody's feeling like they wouldn't say that as their character, then they're going to switch things up a little. But I think he did a fairly good job writing for Patrick. And so I don't, in that aspect, I don't really think I stray too much, but I like having that leniency. I mean, if I do want to change things up just a little bit. As far as the creative mistakes or anything that have happened, one's coming to mind, and I'm not sure it's actually a mistake, because I think Joel kind of wanted it this way in the script, but then Ian kind of was going to take it out, and I'll explain it in a minute, because it was going to be a little bit difficult to do the move, like the camera move and everything. So we were filming a scene at the doctor's office.
Keep going.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought I saw that and I'm like, uh-oh, maybe you can't hear me.
No, I can hear you. You're good. Keep going.
Okay. So we were filming a scene at the doctor's office in the basement of St. Clair College of the Applied Arts downtown. And at the end of the scene, Dave, Sean Mazzocca's character, was supposed to push me off my wheelchair. And Ian thought, that might be a little bit too much. So we were just going to have him, I hurt my leg in the film, and we were just going to have him run my leg into the wall as we were pushing the wheelchair. Well, it just so happens he ran my leg into the wall, and when he went to go push me out of the room, there was a little ledge the wheelchair couldn't get over, so he ended up dumping me off the wheelchair anyways, and ended up going face forward, and I think it worked really well. But it was a total accident, and I think that was one of those things that worked out the way it was supposed to, even though it was supposed to be cut out anyways. But that was one of the happy accidents we had.
Being an actor, you're obviously putting yourself out there, and it's difficult in the sense that you're I guess switch cameras here. It's difficult in the sense that you're actually you're in front of everyone. You're there to do a job, but obviously fear usually comes into play in many cases. What do you fear the most?
Failure, definitely failure. Anything that I've tried growing up, and not so much just with acting, but anything. When I played baseball, when I was skateboarding, a student, tests, things like that, I've always feared failure. That's my biggest fear, I think, in life in general. If I don't portray something the way somebody wants it to be portrayed, I've let somebody down and I failed. I fear that, so it pushes me very hard to just make sure I do the best that I can and ask the questions that I need to ask and get something across that that they're expecting. I mean, there's no, I don't know how am I going to say this. There's nothing too small in life. I like, for me personally, I mean, I take everything, doesn't matter what it is, it's just huge for me. It doesn't matter, just anything in life. So, and I take everything in the same aspect, and I say, okay, so this might not be that difficult, but if I just do it, just to do it, then I might not be getting that, whatever across that I want to get across. But if I do it like I was doing the biggest thing in the world, then even this littlest thing that I just did right now might change something for somebody else, or might affect somebody's life in a good way, or even myself. So, I mean, like, basically, fear has been what pushed me to succeed.
You mentioned you're inspirational people, and you've been doing this for 3 years, which is great, and you've had some wonderful professional success. Do you consider yourself personally successful?
I would say, not to sound like, I don't want to sound conceited or anything, because that's not who I am. No, more Patrick, but no, I think I'm pretty successful personally just because I pushed myself to be that way. I really, I got through school. I'm also an industrial electrician, so I'm a certified electrician. I have a beautiful family and beautiful fiance who, things are amazing. I got my house here, that my cars and my animals, like everything that I have is because I work so hard for, and I think that to me that is, I guess personally successful. I'm fulfilled with life as far as family and like in Jesse and everything else. I'm very fulfilled with the things that I have in life, and I think that makes me personally successful.
Good stuff. The younger generation are looking to actors nowadays as inspirational people. Well, they always have in the past. How can the younger generation inspire the generation that comes after them?
Oh man, just keep going. That's what I would say, because too many people are willing to stop so easily right now on things. It's just, if somebody says no once, don't just stop at that. Figure out why they're saying no. Ask questions or get out there and figure it out yourself, but just keep going. Don't take no for an answer. That in itself is going to inspire people, because you know what? If you just stop, what's the next person going to do? You know what? Unless they get a kick in the ass from somebody else and they're not watching you, then they're relying on what you are doing right now with your life. So I'd say for every other young person out there, to inspire people, is just go. Just be that kick in the ass that they need, and it's so inspiring to see people not stop. Just doesn't matter what you're doing in life. If you're going to university, or if you're, it really doesn't matter. If you just go to high school and you want to just figure out what you're going to do with life and go get a job or whatever, but make sure you do that the best that you can. Like, just go out and find the best job that you can, and don't take no for an answer, and just keep pushing. As far as like the arts go, don't stop. If you're a drummer, just keep drumming. Let somebody hear you play the drums, because you never know who's going to want to pick up the sticks after you. It's just keep going. That's all I got to say.
Good stuff there, Brent. Is there anything that I haven't brought up that you would like to let those people watching and listening to this know about?
Right, pretty good at asking questions.
I've had a few years doing it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, first of all, I don't know. I mean, I really appreciate you having me on. I know it took a little while for us to hook up there, but
technology.
Yeah, technology. Yeah, but we got it, eh? And I'm on video. Like, I didn't think that was gonna happen. Damn cell phone. I guess that just happens. My computers are acting up right now, so
okay.
At least there's a cell phone handy. But yeah, thank you very much for that. Actually, I believe that besides the behind-the-scenes interview that I just did yesterday on set, you are the first interview I think I've ever done. So.
All right, bonus.
Yeah, so hopefully it worked out all right for you.
I think it did. It definitely did. Is there a website or anything like that we can go to see any of your work, or any way to maybe connect with you to schedule you as a potential actor?
Yeah, you can just hit my email up at brentmichaelbondy@gmail.com. So that Michael is Michael, Bondy, Bondy at gmail.com. That's where, if you need him, just hit me up on my email if you have any projects coming up or anything like that. And I'm always very responsive to all my emails and to any projects coming up. If I have the time, even if it's volunteer, I'm always happy to help out. As far as other things go, just my Facebook. I think it's just you just search me, Brent Bondy, and as long as it's from Windsor, it's me. I think there's one other one in Vancouver. That's not. Also, I'm on IMDb, and I don't really know the handle right now, but I'm pretty sure it's just Brent Bondy. So that's how that IMDb works. Just search Brent Bondy, and you'll find me again. And what else? Yeah, pretty much that's it. I mean, I have Instagram and Twitter at Brent Bondy, and that's pretty much the only avenues. I don't have a website at this point in time.
I'm sure soon enough you'll get one there when.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Brent, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that I was to be able to be your very first interview, at least from a media standpoint. So I
Yeah.
love that. I love those types of interviews. They're always fun.
Perfect. Again, I really appreciate it. It was really nice talking to you, and we'll get together again sometime soon, I hope, and then we can have another interview down the road. Maybe we can do a group one next time. I know they're difficult, but maybe we can all get together in one room and just throw down and just have a good time.
I think for something like that, I would just have to bring a physical camera, set up a tripod, and just start panning back and forth. Yeah, go panel style type thing. So
there you go. That'd be awesome.
Wonderful, good stuff. Well, I just want to let everyone know that this ends this particular episode of Two Geeks Talking. I want to thank Brent again for coming on the show. He is a very successful actor, and look for his work not only from his episode on Beauty and the Beast, but also from Cooked, the web series that will be available hopefully sometime this year. I really hope, at least from what other people have said that have been on the project. So look for that too. Also, you can find this interview on tgtmedia.com, as well as Brent's various contact information we'll throw into the show notes. And finally, you can look for this interview on our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/tgtmedia, on our iTunes channel for the audio version of this, which is itunes.com. Search for Two Geeks Talking. And, of course, on our Patreon page, which, to support us, $1 a month always helps. It's patreon.com/Two Geeks Talking. Thanks, everyone, for listening and watching. Tune in to another great interview, another great creative and talented person next time on Two Geeks Talking.